Welcome to Early Bird Picker. My name is Rafa. I'm a reseller on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Amazon. Currently in the Early Bird Picker nest, just another word for my garage, which is where I do all my eBay sort of stuff. And so of course, that means this is the weekend edition of what sold in my eBay store, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace. If you're a new subscriber to my channel, first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching my channel. I do 2 what sold videos per week. I split them up. I do a weekday one, which is the sales from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a weekend one, which are sales from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My channel, Early Bird Picker, is everything regarding reselling. That's all that my content is. I have a lot of different categories of videos on my channel, so be sure and check them all out. If you like this video, hopefully you'll like some of my other stuff. I go thrifting, garage selling, I have BOLO videos, packing and shipping. This what sold video may actually be super short. I live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of my mouth right now, my breath, but it is 14 degrees outside here in Broken Arrow right now. I do all of my packing and shipping for my eBay stuff here in the garage, so it's not a whole lot warmer here in the garage, so we're gonna get through this pretty quick. The deal is there's a winter snowstorm headed to Oklahoma. We're supposed to get anywhere from like 6 inches to a foot of snow starting like Sunday and Sunday evening. So I've got a decision to make. I've got to decide if I'm going to put on hold or vacation mode my eBay store, my Facebook Marketplace store, and then possibly my Amazon store. I think eBay is probably the biggest one of those three that really tracks your metrics for how well you do getting your items shipped out by the posted time. Right now, for like the last year or however long they track it, I have 100% uploaded and scanned in by the posted time. And so I really worked hard to do that. And so the last thing I want is for items to get purchased, like say sometime this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and then for me not to be able to get them scanned in at the post office because there's a foot of snow outside. And so that'd just be something beyond my control. And so I'm really considering pretty heavily to just close down my store. We got to get moving, otherwise I'm going to freeze. 5 total sales so far, 3 on Facebook Marketplace, 1 on eBay, and 1 on Amazon. All really small sales, but the good news is I had a really low cost of goods invested in each one of them, and so that my profit is actually still pretty high on them, just no big outrageous sales numbers on any of them. Sold. Vintage 1951 Texaco road map for Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Kansas, and Nebraska. Very good overall condition. Bought this in a lot at a garage sale probably a couple months ago now. It was a lot of maybe close to 100 different maps. I paid 16 cents per item. I only paid $15 for the whole lot. And some of the maps have sold for really good money. I'm still selling them off, obviously. This one sold on Facebook Marketplace for $12 with free shipping. So it's going to cost almost $4 to ship this out. After fees, I'll only be taking away $7, but I've made hundreds and hundreds of dollars of profit from the maps. And so it's nice to still be making just a few bucks here and there. If you ever come across any of these road maps that are maybe like by Texaco or Phillips 66, anything like this, you want to help out your SEO when you're doing your title of your listing on eBay. I threw in the terms gas and oil in my title just to try to draw attention, and possibly if I had room, like advertising, because that just draws more eyes to your listing. Sold. Vintage Speedo men's board shorts or trunks, front pockets. Still has a drawstring. Here's the vintage Speedo tag. It's got a liner. Cost of goods, 50 cents at a garage sale. Sold on Facebook Marketplace for $10 plus shipping. Here's a real quick view of my setup for taking most of my photos for eBay. Basically, I just have this white paper just flat on the floor like this. There's my ring lights right there, and I point them at the paper. For most stuff, it works pretty well, taking a flat picture. There are some items that are just 3-dimensional that look a lot better with not only something flat, but also like a background to it. And so I have all this kitchenware stuff that I've been storing up, and it really needs to have a background. And so since it's been just so bitterly cold here in Oklahoma the last couple of days, I've been really focusing on working through a lot of my kitchenware that need a different sort of photo. Those photos I take inside the house, just on our countertop with just pretty nice plain background. And so we should start seeing a lot of my kitchenware sales because I've been listing so many of them. So honestly, right now, I just have these 2 bins full of my kitchenware stuff that I don't really know quite what to do with. Sold. We've got a United States Postal Service coffee mug in cobalt blue. Pretty good overall condition, a little bit of a stain right there. Picked this up this week at a thrift store half a mile from my house. Cost of goods, 18 cents. It sold for $20, free shipping on Facebook Marketplace. It sold almost instantly. Shipping label is going to cost me $9. Then there's a fee associated for Facebook Marketplace. My takeaway is going to be like $10. Again, none of these items I'm making a huge profit on, but so far less than $1 invested in each of them. So I'm still okay with it. To be careful in getting this next one, I have two identical ones except for it's this one. I have this one, and then I have this one down here, which is 3 pieces. This one is a 2-piece. We have vintage Tupperware, 2-piece microwave set, made in the USA, 3-quart or 3-liter. Pretty good overall condition, nice inside. The only real issue, it's hard to see in the video maybe, but a little bit of scratching right there. Cost of goods, $3, Goodwill. Sold in just a couple hours, $15 plus shipping on eBay. What's funny is that 3-piece set I picked up for under $1, and I'm still waiting on it to sell. I really enjoy selling Tupperware if it's the right piece that goes for, this is just making kind of my $10 profit that I like to make, or just thereabouts. But I really like selling Tupperware. The reason why it's just super easy. I really enjoy doing hard goods because when you take this home, there's just like no testing that's required. The shipping is super easy. It's plastic, and so the shipping as far as packing goes, not a big deal on that. It's just all around a winner. For vintage Tupperware, there is definitely a market on eBay of buyers. Sold. The Tiny Little House by Eleanor Clymer, and it's a tiny little book. Very good used condition. Cost of goods, 50 cents at an estate sale. This is the biggest sale of the day. It sold for $30 plus shipping on Amazon. So again, not a huge day in sales. Our total takeaway after accounting for shipping is $74.25 in revenue. I'll still pay fees on that, making $74.25 before fees and income taxes. But here's the deal. We only had 50 cents, 18, 16 cents, our biggest one, $3 and 50 cents for a total of $4.34. So essentially we flipped $4.34 into nearly $75. That's a win all day in my book. Even those small sales, they'll still add up. It's Saturday morning and I had 3 more sales come through, 2 on eBay, 1 on Facebook Marketplace. I did have to make the really difficult decision for me is I shut down all 3 of my reselling stores. I shut down my eBay store, my Facebook Marketplace store, and my Amazon store. Or I put them on inactive or vacation mode, whatever they call it. On eBay, I did put the setting where you can still allow orders to come through. It just tells the buyer that it's going to be an additional, I think I set it out for 7 days. I had no idea what to do. Like I said, there's supposed to be a really big snowstorm coming to Oklahoma, and I just felt like I don't want to ruin my really good history on eBay of getting my orders uploaded and scanned in by the correct time. And so I just decided to set it for a week out. Hopefully that's long enough. I think it will be. The problem is, for me making this decision, in Oklahoma, the majority of the time when they say there's going to be a ton of snow, there's like maybe a dusting of snow or something like that. And so I guess I hope that this time that they're correct and I'll just get a lot of listing done in the time that my store's on vacation mode. But anyway, so here are the final 3 sales of this weekend. Here's what it looks like outside so far. Just a little bit of snow, not a ton. Sold. The vintage honey pot with the lid and the dipper. Excellent overall condition. Made by Teleflora, 1981. Cost of goods, $3, Goodwill. This one wasn't worth as much as I thought. It sold for $20 with free shipping on Facebook Marketplace. It'll cost me $9 to ship it, so taking away about $10. Sold. Vintage red sweatshirt on the Isle of Cotton tag, made in the USA. Ford QPM Quality Parts Management. Very good overall condition. I'm always on the lookout for company workwear, especially vintage company workwear from companies that are really well known, like Ford. I had the FedEx jacket. I think those McDonald's shirts that I picked up are going to do okay. For whatever reason, people just are really big into having company workwear of really well-known brands. Cost of goods, 83 cents. Got this at a thrift store. It sold for $40 plus shipping in less than a day. Sold. Vintage Homer Laughlin Fiesta Ware, 12-inch casserole pan. Really nice cobalt blue color. Very good overall condition. Cost of goods, 83 cents. This was purchased on the same day as the sweatshirt. This also sold for $40 plus shipping. Made a lot of profit from just those 2 items from that thrift store find. It's Sunday evening here in the Early Bird Picker nest. I did go ahead and put all 3 of my stores on vacation mode or pause mode basically because of the possible snowstorm that we're going to have. It has been snowing for a lot of the day today. I know in a lot of areas of the country this would not be a big deal, but in Oklahoma we are just not used to this cold weather with snow. We've gone several years probably without getting any snow. I'm pretty sure it was like 60 or 70 degrees Christmas Day in 2019, so we're used to pretty mild winters for the most part. When we do have bad weather, since we don't get it that often, our state is just not prepared to clear the roads, and so it really shuts down the whole state even if we just get a few inches of snow. It's currently only 6 degrees out. I know there's states where it certainly goes below freezing, but here we're just not used to that. I normally do all of my packing and shipping here in the garage in the nest, but it's so cold, my tape is not even sticking. Like the adhesive has stopped sticking, and so I've had to take my stuff inside to pack it and ship it. So we're gonna go through these 3 sales that I had on eBay pretty fast. I did have 3 sales, so I hope that the people saw the message that I am on vacation or away and that they just don't mind. Sold. Vintage 1965 Peanuts Happy Birthday Snoopy, pop-up color form. It's 90% complete, and the box is in pretty good condition. Cost of goods, 10 bucks at an estate sale. Took a chance on this one. There weren't a ton of sales on eBay to compare to because, of course, just it is so vintage. I subscribed to the WorthPoint app, and there are quite a few solds on there, ranging from like 15 bucks up to 75. I decided to make the purchase. It paid off, kind of got the middle of the range. I got 31 plus shipping. Sold. Japanese phrase book for the occupation forces from 1950. Pages overall pretty good condition. Little bit of trouble with the binding. The book came with these 3 vintage photographs. I had thoughts about trying to resell the photographs. I didn't know exactly where they were from. Selling vintage photographs is something just way out of my area of knowledge or experience or just anything basically. And so at the end of the day, I just decided it'd be kind of cool just to leave the photographs where I found them and send them with the book, and then I included it in the listing. Cost of goods, 5 bucks at an estate sale. This was one of my mom's picks. This is one of the picks where she did so much better than me. This is the pick where we also found the Kobe Bryants, and she's the one that scouted out the shoes. This book sold for $29 plus shipping to an international buyer. You guys know that flipping running shoes is my deal, that's my thing, and so I made a prediction about this pair of shoes, and I'm so happy that I was right on it. Sold. There's only a couple of exceptions, but as a general rule, when I'm flipping running shoes, I pretty much only pick up shoes on a scale of 0 to 10, condition-wise, they're about a 7 or an 8 or above to flip. Anything below that, for the most part, just will not resell. Like I said, there's a couple of exceptions. There's a certain brand, Hoka. I will pick up Hokas in lower condition. And then this shoe right here is probably the lowest condition shoe that I've ever picked up to resell, and it did sell. And it only took maybe less than 2 weeks. This shoe is the Nike Air Max Moto 5. That's another issue. I typically only flip high-end specialty running shoes, ones that are in the very top, like 1 and 2 tiers of running shoe. This shoe is not even one of those top-tier Nike running shoes. Got this just a couple trips ago at one of my thrift stores for 70 cents. If I was going to grade the condition of these shoes, I would grade them about a 3 to a 4. They're pretty much like lawn mowing shoes. They're ready to go use in the yard if there were any other shoe than this particular Nike shoe. You can see the midsole, it's hard, it's brown, the air cushion is clouded, the upper is deformed. Again, just very used condition. You can see the insole has rubbed off the ink. Not a lot of tread left on the outsole. Here is the redeeming quality though. They are Bowerman series. If you saw the video when I picked these up, I told you that Bill Bowerman is a co-founder of Nike. With his name on it, they have a series of running shoes, and they tend to be kind of a collector's item. And this happens to be one of those collector shoes. Even in this condition, these sold for $30 plus shipping. I'm still kind of blown away by it, and I'm super happy that they sold at less than $1 into these. So if you're wanting to get into flipping running shoes, if it weren't for the fact that these were Bowerman series shoes, this would be a pretty much perfect condition of what not to buy. One more really small sale on eBay. Sold. Plastic battery door cover from vintage 1989 electronic talking battleship. Cost of goods, this says $1, it's actually less than $1. I picked up that vintage 1989 electronic talking battleship game at the freezing cold garage sale just a few weeks ago. I only paid $5 for it, which would have been a really good deal had it been working. Finally took it out of the box and tested it. It had some battery corrosion. I cleaned that up as much as I could, and I just still couldn't get it working. This is a pretty classic game, and it has a ton of sell-through on eBay. I was just gonna throw away the whole thing, but just something inside, I was just like, I just can't do that, knowing that this is a really desirable game. There's probably a lot of people out there who have portions of the game. I decided to part it out. And so, even though I'm not making a ton of profit on any of these individual items, it's just good knowing that someone's going to get to complete their game. So originally I had 5 items from this that I was going to part out. That's why it said $1. But I also had the box. I don't think that anyone's probably going to pay the shipping required for the box. I'll show you the box. It's right here. You can see it goes pretty far back. It's a pretty large box. My guess is that the shipping would not make it feasible that someone's going to pay the shipping on that, but I went ahead and decided to list the box too, just in case anyone had all the pieces and they just needed the box for their game. So this sold for $7 plus shipping, so I'm definitely still going to make profit on this once every piece sells. When it comes to listing, I am very slow at listing. I'm just super detail oriented. I just want everything to be correct. So it's really probably not worth my time to list these, even though I am seemingly making a profit. It just takes me a long time to list each item. But sometimes as a reseller, I almost feel in a way like we're providing services to people to provide items that they're missing, especially if they're vintage, that are just really scarce or hard to come by. I'm not out to make any great amount of money. I'm just looking to supply that, last part, hopefully, that somebody needs. Pretty happy to have another sale on eBay, even though my store shut down. Sold. Lot of 1, 2 vintage Revere ware. 3-quart, 2-quart pots with lids. Copper bottoms. This one is so used, the only thing I could hardly make out on here was Revere ware. When I picked these up, they needed a lot of cleaning, way more than this. I used steel wool and Barkeeper's Friend. I had them looking really nice, but then I decided to go ahead and wash them after I had cleaned them, like in the dishwasher. And they sat around in some water, and then some of this coloring, the staining, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, showed up again. So I clearly didn't do something right because they're not in perfect condition. Vintage kitchenware is becoming one of my absolute new favorite categories to resell. It's pretty easy to do just because it's a hard good, but there's still certain things like cleaning that I still have a little bit to learn. I don't know why that condition showed back up again. I had spent probably 30 minutes cleaning them, just really scrubbing them, probably way more than I needed to. They were looking awesome. That showed back up again after they came out of the dishwasher or whatever, and I had just had enough of cleaning. I thought, at this point, I'm just going to list them the way they are. Someone will either want them or not. They can clean them a little bit more if they want them even more clean than this. I just invested already a lot of time, and they still sold. The cost of good on these, $5 total, an estate sale. This was a really interesting estate sale. It was marked something like Tulsa's largest collection of fine books or something along those lines. So basically at the estate sale, all these book resellers showed up, but they were like leather-bound books that didn't have a barcode, and most of them didn't have the title printed on the front of the cover. The only way that I really know how to resell books is by just scanning them with my Amazon app or eBay app, the barcode or the cover of the book. And so when they don't have that, I'm just left to type them in. I definitely don't have the experience to be able to look at a book other than maybe like a college textbook or something like that, but just to look at like an older book and say, this one's valuable, this one's not. They were holding us all back at the garage. Literally, they were like holding the line of the garage. It started a little bit late. They finally let us all in. Everybody rushed in. All the resellers went to the books. They all knew exactly what they were looking for. They went past the kitchen, and I had really just pretty recently learned about vintage kitchenware stuff that you want to pick, and so I had the kitchen all to myself, which in an estate sale here in Tulsa, that's pretty rare. Usually the kitchen is pretty hard hit, and so I picked these Revereware. I might have gotten some other things too, but I was really stoked to find these at a really good price, and I didn't have to fight anybody for them. So like I said, I paid $5 total for both of these pots, and they sold for $36 plus shipping on eBay. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Early Bird Picker. Hope the weather is safe wherever you guys are at. And as always, I'll see all y'all on the next video.